Hi there and welcome back to Japan. Now, if you're a regular on this channel, you won't be surprised that I'm checking out a little bit of baby metal, because we've checked out every single baby metal song ever. We've done a top 10, we've checked out all of the songs that have come out on the new album thus far, and we've even done covers of them. We've kind of actually been quite loyal to baby metal, and it's been enjoyable. We've seen Sakuragaku and we've seen so much of their journey and really enjoyed it. Now, this was a link I was given, and I have that on my big list of things to review that I always add from the things you guys put in the comments, so I really appreciate that. But as you know, it gets quite backlogged and it takes a while to get around to things, and this is a video that's been suggested to me a couple of times, but I must admit, looking through the notes and seeing what I see, I really have no idea what to expect from this. It's literally labelled as, when I clicked on the link, it's labelled as Baby Metal Ave Maria. Looks a bit like Ave Maria, but it's not. It's Ave Maria. Unless I really don't know how Ave Maria is spelt, or if it's not phonetic. I'm pretty sure it's not Ave Maria. But on top of that, I was told this is part of like Sue's birthday celebration performance. I think we saw a video from this performance once before, actually, from what I remember. And apparently, also, I've got a note suggesting this is a remix of Headbanger. And on top of that, it is a monumental 9 minutes and 52 seconds on the play. So I'm going to get straight down to this one and see what we can work out. But I have no idea what I'm about to jump into. And sometimes that's the most fun. So looking forward to this. Obviously, you guys know I'm well prepared for pretty much anything baby metal throws at me, but one of the things I like about this artist most of all is that they're very good at throwing a little bit of a curveball and surprising you. So either this is going to be amazing, or it's going to be weird, or maybe it'll be disappointing. Let's find out together. This is Baby Metal with Ave Maria. Who would have thought they had so many fans? Ah, yes, the weird, big religious statue at the back. And occasional references to Judeo-Christian... Okay, it's Ave Maria. I'm pretty sure that's not Sue's voice. If it turns out to be Sue, then yeah. It is a beautiful piece of music, it can't be denied. It's kind of making me all the more freaked out by whatever's going to happen next. I'm freaked out in advance, I'm freaked out in lieu. Well, I imagine this will end quietly. I mean, is that supposed to be Mary as in Bible Mary? Because the overarching elements of Christianity and like Christian theology used in some of baby metal shows, I know it's kind of done in an irony, but it's so much that sometimes I do feel a little bit like I'm in a church. I said that once before, actually, I think. It's a beautiful piece of music, it really is. It's 28 days later, actually, they used this in the soundtrack, wasn't it? 28 days or 28 weeks. Sometimes it reminds me of zombies. That's probably more appropriate. That's nice. The electric guitar actually works. This is a piece of music that it's very easy to do like modifications on. It's very accommodating of alternate versions. But I've been told there's a Headbanger remix, so this is certainly leading up to something. They're using Ave Maria as an intro. It's taking a while, so I hope this drama pays off. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. For a Christian, this must be like an Elvis fan watching Baba Hotep. Just confusing. It's a slow boil. I really hope this pays off because it's a brilliant build-up. I just get happy birthday on my birthday. Come on. We've got 5 minutes to go. We're nearly halfway through. Don't let it die. Go straight in. No, don't let the momentum die. I hate when they do that. They could have gone straight in there. Fair enough, fair enough. Everyone's happy. It's just me who's being clinical. So many movie references, now I'm thinking of The Shining. That's beautifully done. Really loving the arrangement there. There's really good use of dubstep. Dubstep can either go very right or very wrong, and that's very right. This whole weird kowtow beat praying thing is a common theme in their dances, it seems. I think it was Def had that as well, but yeah, this is how you do it right. This is how you do it right. I think I'm preferring this to the original. Oh, don't crucify her again. It's her birthday, you keep on killing the poor girl. That just works. That just works 100%. And this is actually one of those examples where doing this live is why it works. This is a club song. It's a club song now. Was there a key change in the original? I can't remember. What a good way to fill up like 10 minutes of my life. That worked out quite well. Right, so to avoid you spending your entire lives watching this video, I'll try and be concise in my response. Plenty of time to think about it. Well, there's a lot there, a lot to unpack in that we had a whole rendition of Ave Maria followed by a remix of Headbanger. But as it's a remix, let's just quickly talk about Headbanger first and what that actually, what I feel about that. I stand by what I said. I actually prefer that to the original. I really do. As some of you guys know, it's not that I dislike Headbanger, but it's one of my least favourite Baby Metal songs. Funny thing is that in a lot of ways, I love the principle of it. The principle that I really love. I love the sort of craziness, the idea of that head-bang thing where you just kind of have like a cheesy, annoying bit and then throwing in some heavy sounds. Everything on paper sounds really great, but in actuality, when I listen to Headbanger, I find that very little of it is memorable. I don't find the chorus particularly sticks, and I find that it flows really badly. I just kind of don't find that Headbanger works for me. To me, it's kind of like almost the opposite of Yava, which you guys might remember I put particularly high on my top 10 list. I'm not going to tell you where, just in case you haven't seen that list, because if you've already seen it, you know. But I really liked Yava, and this to me, Headbanger was like the opposite of Yava. Yava was all of that character, but gelling. Everything gels and works. So not entirely opposite, but from a writing perspective, I guess they had the same qualities of personality and fun and madness mixed with heavy sounds. But whereas Yava, like Yonno, both of those songs click. Headbanger never really did. So for me, the key to Headbanger was to find a way of making it just sort of gel and, you know, sort of, I guess, making it a little bit simpler. You know, putting the parts together with more of a central core, because it doesn't work in sort of going all over the place. It doesn't have the flexibility of some of their latter songs, at least, certainly. So this actually works brilliantly. It highlights the main quality of Headbanger, which is to be a headbanger. And isn't it ironic that the best way to achieve that was by doing kind of like an EDM dubstep thing? But you cannot deny that dubstep is one of the purest forms of headbanging music that you can get. So in a way, it's really akin to metal in lots of important ways. I know it was a bit of a flash in the pan. It's kind of already dying out very quickly, only less than 10 years after its inception, as far as I'm aware. But credit where credit's due, it certainly works, and it did this song a lot of favours. And also having that more solid core, I know it simplifies, it takes out a lot of the intricacies of the song, but with a song like this, it works. It made the chorus more memorable, actually. The chorus in this version was better. I know that lots of the musicianship skill that we look for isn't present here. I know that Sue's vocals have been sort of vocoded to the point where, to be honest, it didn't really need to be her. It could have almost been anyone. But, it's a song that we identify with Baby Metal. Baby Metal delivered it, and I just think that version, that sheen, that presentation, it just suited the song better, and it worked well for them, and they carried it off fantastically. And another thing I want to quickly point this out, we always talk about, I know that not every metal fan is a Baby Metal fan, but they have been incredibly successful in the metal market, to the point that I think sometimes they even try to appease just to keep the metal fans happy. Another thing we've discussed in some of their other songs. But as a general, this is a band who have such an enormous power to access that group. And I kind of think that, just to give you an example, because when people say, oh, the expression we keep on referring to is there's some people, or a lot of people, who say, oh, that's not metal, and that's treated as an insult, which it shouldn't be. It's not metal, it's an observation. It's like saying, my shirt is white, my shirt is black. It makes no actual difference, no relevant difference at least. So, there's a lot of people who say that, and I'm kind of thinking, when I've heard this, one of the things that really hit me is that people respect Baby Metal as a metal act, as well they should. But they can get away with this, and the crowd cheers and jumps along. Can you imagine if, like, one of those more purist metal bands like Metallica or Black Sabbath. You know, as you guys know, these are two bands who I haven't got anything against them, but I don't particularly like anything they do hugely. They just don't really resonate with me. Can you imagine if either of those bands came out and did a dubstep song? Like live on stage. They took one of their most famous songs and then they just suddenly delivered it dubstep. Can you imagine how pissed off their fans would be? How many people would be pushing for the door? Like, that's what you have to recognise about why this group is so important, especially for that side of the industry. I mean, I know it's great they're bringing a lot of pop fans into different genres, but I think most of what they do to a high credibility standard is allowing fans of heavier music to see an act where they don't feel betrayed when something unusual happens. When something goes away from metal, they can kind of accept it because in a way they can almost expect it. So yeah, I think there's a quality both in the fact that I think it massively improves the song. It's great as a dance song. I think live that worked. On record that would probably feel a bit sterile. Hearing it with the echo and everyone jumping along and shouting along, that's where this kind of worked, because it's not like with a live metal performance where sometimes you don't quite hear all the musicianship. There's not really any musicianship to hear on this. It's just a heavy beat, and so you want to hear it sounding big. And it was great in that context. And lastly but not least, let's talk briefly about the use of Ave Maria. I do love that piece of music. You know, religious connotations aside, I think it's a wonderful piece of music. And like I say, it's very adaptable. There have been many versions of it done before, and most of them quite successfully. It's been used in film. I think, like I said, I can never remember the name of the guy who wrote the soundtracks for the 28 days, and he did some of 28 weeks as well. I think maybe the whole soundtrack as well. But it's a really simple name. He's another John, but it's not John Williams. I'm pretty sure it's another John. But anyway, he did, you know, fantastic stuff, and he did a version of Ave Maria as well, which was used. And yeah, so there have been versions of this, and this was a really nice version. I like the way that they didn't overly complicate it. They didn't get too showy. They just sort of had the sort of heavy guitar chords in underneath, which kind of respects the actual arrangement of the original, which is that everything is very simple. Everything's quite powerful without the need for excessive notes or harmony. It's quite a simple, moving song. So they use that brilliantly, but I do think if you're going to have a big intro, I know sometimes they do this thing where they suddenly stop it and there's a silence and then the song comes in. I don't think that works anywhere near as well as building up, like they were doing. They were building everything up, jump, 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 and that's when you burst in. And they would have burst in brilliantly, having that contrast between Ave Maria and suddenly like an EDM version of Headbanger by BABYMETAL. So the sudden silence, I think, just disconnected the two in a way that felt a little bit unnecessary. They already had enough drama without having a drop, and the drop was not sudden enough to make it like a what's going to happen. It was just kind of like a kind of let go and then came back. It didn't have that kind of impact. So that's a small complaint, but I think for a group who are so big on the drama and the theatrics, that did seem like a rather strange bit of misdirection there, just for an important part of the overall show. But yeah, let's be honest, it was brilliant. It was really beautiful to see. It was really big, bombastic, crazy, incredibly enjoyable. Small qualms aside, I can't see any way that you wouldn't just enjoy this as a piece of theatre or love it as a music fan. It's brilliant how it mixes all those things. You know, it has a bit of a classical lilt, it has a bit of a metal lilt, it has a bit of a EDM dubstep thing. It's just a lot going on here, and that makes it really enjoyable. So I wholeheartedly enjoyed this. Like I said, I do prefer it to the original now, I think, and yeah, what a great link. Thank you so much. It was much more than I could have ever expected it to be. And not fully understanding the notes on this one did help as well, because it was a bit of a surprise too. So again, I wish my friends would throw me a birthday party more like that. That's all I can say. So, for now from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think. Feel free to communicate what you feel. Do you agree? Do you disagree? It's all about the communication after all. You can like, you can dislike if you want, so long as you comment and tell us why. You can subscribe, you can do all those other things. We've got millions of videos. Like I said, we've reviewed every single BABYMETAL thus far, and when the new ones come out, we'll be reviewing them too. So, until then, thank you. Wow, talk too fast and belched. Thank you so much for joining me here in Japan, and for now, ciao, ciao.